Hi, welcome to JadeKind Gaming. I am Adam. Today I will be doing an unboxing of the Magic Origins Deck Builders Toolkit. This is the last of the core sets. From now on, instead of doing core set and then a block of 3 sets for each year, they're going to do 2 blocks of 2 sets each year to be able to tell more stories more frequently. So I don't know, this might be the last of the Deck Builders Toolkits, or they might incorporate it into one or more of the not core sets now that there aren't going to be core sets anymore. I've done a couple of these. I've gotten even more than the ones I've done. I've been getting them for quite a while before I even started the YouTube channel. But generally what it is, it's 100 basic lands, it's 4 booster packs, and 125 semi-randomized cards. To be fair, I don't necessarily know exactly what that is currently, but it used to be essentially a few packs, like clear cellophane wrap packs that you would have sort of semi-random because there were a few options for what that full pack would be that were all the same, but you might get different ones each time. So majority of the cards, there was one year I actually got like 3 of the Deck Builders Toolkits. Most of the cards you're going to get are going to be repeats, but some of them in those packs will be different. Obviously, the boosters will be completely different. Back when I did it, I was doing it mostly for the building up the collection of lands, which that is one of the things this is great for. Also, I love the boxes. I use them. They're my travel boxes, I guess. That way I can put go into friends, I put an array of decks in there, and I have that as, to play around with. But anyways, let's get started over here. Also, the deck has a sleeve. But anyways, yeah, the Magic Origins includes 285 cards. And of course it talks about whatever's in there. Yeah, there's also whatever the little reference card and booklet. But yeah, there's the sleeve. And the deck box itself, which, as I said, quite useful. Piece of cardboard. Alright, but yeah, we have just the divider, so you can actually hold more cards in here than what it originally has. 4 sort of packs of, the clear cellophane packs I was mentioning. The references. And then we have, the Magic Origins pack, and then 2, I guess, Journey to Nyx is actually kind of a while ago. I'm sort of surprised there's one that old. But whatever, Fate Reforged and Dragons of Tarkir were the ones just before Origins, so that's... Well, I'm surprised by that. I'll just say that. Anyways, but before we get to the actual cards, we'll look at these foldouts. We have the Deck Builders Toolkit sort of reference. And it's sort of a guide for how to build your deck. I was recently asked on one of my videos for one of the other Deck Builders Toolkits if this is what I would suggest for someone who's just getting into the game. And my comment was I'd suggest like a pre-made deck if you're still learning how to play, but this is definitely a great place to start for building a deck. It also has suggestions of deck themes. But yeah, as I said, it's great for building decks. But yeah, generally I'd suggest learning to play the game itself before doing that, just so that you know what you want the aims of the deck to be. And then there's also this rules reference card, which is a very basic reference to play the game, but generally has the order of the turn, and that's always great. I've certainly played with people that have been playing for a while that have trouble keeping that in order, and it drives me crazy. But we'll start with the semi-randomized packs, I suppose. And let's see, this one may just be all lands. Let's bring the camera in closer. Much better. But yeah, we get whatever the Magic Origins lands. Their beautiful artwork. I guess I can talk here. I'm just looking at the art because actually I didn't do the pre-release for this set. Pretty much with my finances, it was either get the Deck Builder's Toolkit or do the pre-release. And I decided I'd rather have this. I'm always a bit uncomfortable with those tournaments anyways. Not the best player, and I have to play with strangers. I tend to personally play much more with friends than at, like, I don't do Friday Night Magic or anything like that. Not that I never will, but just not my preferred style, preferred method of playing, I guess. But anyway, so there's a bunch of lands. Let's see. Yeah. There it is. It's like there's supposed to be one of these things to pull this off and take apart the cellophane. It wasn't working for me very well. Alright, anyways, we got Evolving Wilds. We got our uncommon here. Totem Guide. Enters the battlefield. Search your library for an aura card, reveal it, put it into your hand, and shuffle your library. Okay. Again, with we probably get one of each color at least here. Whenever you cast an enchantment spell, you may have target creature get -2/-2 until end of turn. We got a multicolor one, so we may just have quite a few. Anyways, I'll let you pause and look at some of these if you'd like. And obviously here, if you notice, they're not all Origins cards, so some are from older sets. But I think the bulk of them will be, like, yeah. There's Cons, Fate Reforged, and Dragons of Tarkir definitely also show up in here. In the, what is that? That's Cons, but I think it's the same in either of the other two of those sets. I loved the furry goblins that they had in those previous sets. I just thought that was a really cool visual style for goblins. It was a bit unique, I suppose. It made them stand out, and so I was more interested in them. Gotten several of these Evolving Wilds, which I don't use often, but they are good to use, I suppose, in multicolor decks, just to be able to pull what you need. I think there might be some cards in here that are not really, that are like marked as Origins but aren't in Origins booster packs or anything else. If I remember reading something correctly, they have like numbers down in the corner that are going to be ahead, and that's partially what I'm doing as I get quiet, is I'm sort of keeping an eye out to see if you know, those are there. I'm also just sort of trying to give you a moment to look at these, because as they are, like I said, semi-randomized. They may end up being the same cards that you get. You know, can't be sure, but it's possible that you get the same cards. Oh, I'm already seeing it just over here. That's 273 of 272, so that's what I'm guessing where that's going to begin. And yeah, I guess we'll get to that in a moment. Oh, always great for a 0 cost. Oh, so some of these lands, which I always enjoy these. I don't mind they enter tapped. I'd rather gain the life than the ones where you lose life. You're getting a pair of each of these, so that is actually useful. Pair of the common dual lands And then we're back on to here are going to be the rest of the lands to make that 100 lands from the stack before. So if you combine this with that other stack before, now you have the 100 basic lands. Okay, so we get onto this one. So I probably started at the wrong side. Oh well. Okay, so here's a lovely rare Aegis Angel, and it is 273 of 272. This is not available in like a booster pack or anything. There were, I think, a couple ways to get it, but the primary one that I recognized, or I thought that's where I'll have to get them, was the Deck Builder's Toolkit. But yeah, it's one of the rares for white. When it enters the battlefield, another target permanent gains indestructible for as long as you control it. Again, one that won't be available, a flying 5/6 for 6. Again, 282 of 272. That's just funny to see the numbers like that, though. Its power and toughness are each equal to the number of swamps you control. Costs 6 mana, and it has flying. The dragon for 6 mana, 5/5 flying, and you can pay 1 over and over to get it +1 to power. Again, 285 of 272. And our Terra Stomper, 6 and 8/8. Can't be countered, has trample. Now again, we're on to just the uncommons, but again, if you notice those little numbers down in the corner, although, yeah, that one 276 of 272. This one is looks like 38, so this one would actually be available. Oh, the heck! See that? I'm not even paying attention. That's Dragons of Tarkir. Oh, here, 274. So they're going to be mixed in. But yeah, there are definitely some in here that are past, outside of the number scheme, and therefore only available through here or a few other means. And I recall, don't quote me on it, but I recall the announcement, because I sort of keep track of the news articles on the Magic website, and I recall it saying that as they are Origins cards, even though they're outside the number, that they are legal anywhere in any tournament that Magic Origins cards are able to be used, or something like that. I remember this card. This was first in a strat. I remember that. That's the time when I started getting back into Magic. I got out of the game between then and when I got into it most recently, but because I've gone sort of through phases, love it and then just sort of leave it behind for a while, usually based on finances, but that's just one of the cards I remember from that set. Very distinctive image. And I've always been a bit of a fan of blue. Not necessarily even for what it does as much as I like the color. So they're the types of... I tend to do things that blue decks do. I tend to do it because I want to play blue decks because I enjoy the color and the art. Bit of an unusual player, perhaps, but I'm sure I'm not alone in that. One of the things I do love about the game is the art. As ultimately I'm showing these off to you, I primarily look at the art, because I'm not, I don't have time to read the cards, or we'd be here all day. This has whatever 200 and some odd cards, or so I just sort of get a basic idea and keep talking while you can look at the cards. Pause if you really want, but you may just be looking for a general idea of what cards are in this set, is my assumption. All creatures able to block for 0 and do so. Oh, nice. Another one of those that's outside of it, but that's actually a nice one. But yeah, if there's something specific that I could help with other than just making sure the cards are in focus, as far as that, feel free to ask down in the comments. Let me know how I could be more helpful. And now we are on to the booster packs. Of course, the one I'm most interested in is the Origins, because it'll actually be the first one, because I haven't gotten any yet, but I'm going to start with the older one. I'm still quite surprised that there's... I thought it was going to be Cons, Fate, Dragons, and one Origin. I didn't think I was going to get more than one Origin booster in here. It's usually 4 different boosters, but I didn't think it was going to be quite this old. So anyways, here's Journey to Nyx, one of the older sets. Here's some cards from that. I'll just go through the commons quickly. Like, the art style is different on these. This was back before they changed the layout of the cards even. Yeah, here's our first uncommon, Hexproof Reach. Strive, Desperate Stand costs more to cast for each target beyond the first. Any number of target creatures each get +2/+0 and gain first strike and vigilance until end of turn. And you can just pretty much increase it for how many creatures you want to do it. Not bad. Constellation, whenever this card or another enchantment enters the battlefield under your control, you gain 1 life. Yeah, this was back when they had enchantment creatures. Our rare. Oh, well, that's actually not a bad rare for the set, other than how old it is. But I believe that's I think that's one of the mythics. I don't know. The newer art actually tells you what rarity it is. This, if it's red, I think it's mythic, but I'm color deficient, and the color they use for red is very close to the color that they use for the gold. I think it's one of the red ones that looks slightly different than the gold ones, you know, if you compare the colors right next to each other, so I'm pretty sure, but... And I'm thinking all the, you know, the gods were mythic. So I'm thinking whatever, this is a mythic, which is good, indestructible. As long as your devotion to one of its colors is less than 7, it is not a creature. And you can pay whatever, the black-green, exile target creature card from a graveyard. Its owner puts a 1/1 black and green snake enchantment creature token with Death Touch onto the battlefield. You can do that also all you want. Let's see. And a token. I love tokens. It's a Minotaur. So, that was my first pack. Old, but otherwise, not bad. So this would be the Fate Reforged, moving up a bit newer, more of the current block at least. And so we'll go through the commons, of course. And you see we're now to the newer art again, where it tells you the rarity. The border at the bottom is black, so it's easy to read with the contrast. I did like this most recent update to the card layout. I thought they did a very good job. Alright, our uncommons. Diplomacy of the Wastes. Target opponent reveals his or her hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. If you control a warrior, that player loses 2 life. Dragon, flying. When it dies, destroy target non-creature permanent. Flash, Defender. It's one of the Jeskai cards. When it enters the battlefield, you may return another target creature you control to its owner's hand. Our rare here is Mardu, Strike Leader. Whenever it attacks, put a 2/1 Black Warrior creature token onto the battlefield. And it has Dash, which is the go out. You know, you play it for this cost, it can do whatever it does, and then it comes back to your hand. Another one of these lands, and a Manifest token, which I have a few of, but still better than just whatever, one of those rules insets or whatever it is that are when it's no sort of token. But we have our Dragons of Tarkir pack. Commons once more. We can pause and look at those as usual. I feel like I've done several of these because I did on these I did the pre-release for the channel. We get our uncommons. Press the advantage. Up to 2 target creatures each get +2/+2 and gain trample until end of turn. The Stormcrag Elemental. It's a 5/5 for 6 with trample, and Megamorph for also 6. Dragon Hunter. There was an interesting story about here because originally it just had protection from dragons or something like that, and they pointed out though that since all the dragons are flying, that it would never have been actually fighting a dragon, so they gave it that ability or something like that, is what I recall from being one of the news articles. We got our rare here, Gleam of Authority for 2, enchant creature. It gets +1/+1 for each +1/+1 counter on other creatures you control. An enchanted creature has vigilance and pay 1 tap, bolster 1. Oh, great! Ah, I have some decks that'll go really well in. Alrighty. I love the bolster mechanic. Yeah, see, whatever the little story notes, I guess, is what they are. And little advertisements on the back. And now the Origins booster. It's as weird as it sounds, I kind of want to keep because it is the only one of these I have, and it's Jace, which means I might actually cut out and use the art from it for something, so I'm trying to open it without destroying at least the front very much. Oh well. Alright, so our commons. And yeah, if you didn't know, Origins has like whatever 10 planes that it takes place in because it's the origin stories of 5 of the planeswalkers, and so it takes place in some of the past locations that are really cool, including Innistrad, which I mentioned earlier. But that's just one of the. I really liked the theme for this set. Some of the themes were really cool. Anyways, uncommons, Brawler's Plate. It's an equipment. It's 4 to equip, and equipped creature gets +2/+2 and has trample. Goblin Glory Chaser for 1, a 1/1 with Renown 1, which is whatever. Oh yeah, that's that mechanic. If it deals combat damage to a player, if it isn't renowned, it becomes renowned. It gets +1/+1 counter on it. And as long as it is renowned, it has menace, which means it can't be blocked except by 2 or more creatures. Dwayne's Elite is for 2, a 2/2. And when it enters the battlefield, if you control another elf, put a 1/1 green elf creature token onto the battlefield. And Mage Ring Responder for a 7/7 for 7. It doesn't untap during your untap step. Pay 7 and untap it. And whenever it attacks, it deals 7 damage to target creature defending player control. Oh, so it's a 7/7, but it also does an extra 7 to another creature. It's 7 every time you want to use it, but still, not bad, I don't think. And I noticed this I was thinking about. They're advertising Battle for Zendikar, which is the next set after Magic Origins. But yeah. That was the Magic Origins Deck Builders Toolkit. So yeah, it has 4 boosters, and it's possible. Well, I'm pretty sure you always get one that is a Magic Origins booster. The other 3 might end up all being from different sets. Nothing, they always say from recent Magic the Gathering sets. Clearly, if Journey to Nyx is recent enough for them to consider it recent, I wouldn't. I would consider only things since the last core recent. Oh well. I didn't get bad cards in it anyway, so it's fine. I was just surprised, and so there's something that's something they're going to consider recent, is even beyond the previous core set. But that, was the Deck Builders Toolkit for Magic Origins. Possibly the last one. We don't really know because it is the last core set, and so far they've only ever done these for the core sets. But ultimately, without a core set, obviously there are going to be a variety of changes, which as I said, I keep track on their news articles because I'm kind of curious, what are they doing with this change? But anyways, I hope that gave you an idea of what's in it, or what might be in it, or that kind of thing, or at least, what the product looks like. If you have any questions, ask down in the comments, and I'll try and get you an answer, at least as best I can. So, have a great day. Bye.